All right, I got interrupted on the last video, but it's cool. It's part of you know what I mean, grinding, working, doing what you need to do, and just being thankful. You know, as most TIs, like, you have to have respect towards people. You know what I'm saying? But if you evolved in this thing, if you evolved, you know what I mean, there's a certain type of lifestyle like that you can't moonwalk back, slide back to. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the gifts, regardless of, you know what I mean, people, try to go out their way or seemingly all of a sudden try to go out their way. You know what I'm saying? You still got to respect, good small talk is great. But if it's a situation where you got to go out your way, don't do it. You know what I mean? You got to let things just be organic. Let things just be natural. Let things be smooth. But it's a lot of things that you just don't do that you used to do. Ain't nothing wrong with doing something recreational. You find some buddies that want to play some basketball or something like that. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? Just some type of recreational sports. Somebody that want to go to the gym, that's cool. Somebody that want to go to a Bible study, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? If it's a friendly type gathering place where, it ain't too much, in the mix or something like that, that stuff is cool. If you got the time, you got the money for it, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with going to cookouts and barbecues, and ain't nothing wrong with that, But just know when certain toxicity come your way, you got to know how to, okay, it's time for you to go ahead and move on. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes everything can start and glitter at the beginning, like, oh, this is cool, this is smooth. Next thing you know, things just got suffocated with toxin. You didn't even know it. You ain't even paying attention. It just popped up out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So this is how it is. Like when you're focused and they see that you focus, a busy man is a good man. They see that you working. They see you doing what you need to do. Then the projections that they'll put to you, they'll put, I don't know, just, you know what I'm saying, like a pair. Everybody pairing up and stuff like that. Like you missing out, but it's a projection, family. You're not missing out. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to get fuel, as humans interaction and get that fuel and the energy exchange and the little feeling of validation and the feeling that you are somebody, is some existence. You know what I'm saying? I'm thankful that I have my wife, but as far as outside of the feminine energy, you know what I'm saying? The masculine energy, you know what I'm saying? That just wisdom, guidance, you know what I'm saying? Little friendly competition, you know what I mean? And joking around and stuff and relate. You had to evolve to a certain point where there's certain masculine energy that you can't, because of this program, a lot of the masculinity energy became toxic. So it's not even friendly competition no more. It's you know what I mean, survival of the fittest out here. You know what I mean? Most of the masculine energy, they kind of want to take you out just to be little you are, to make your time the most uncomfortable possible. You know what I'm saying? You got people go out their way to try to get you to have an uncomfortable experience and stuff. You know what I mean? Or make you desperate, put you in a point where you're desperate. But you can't be in no mindset of being desperate or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just the tactics that they'll use psychologically. You know what I mean? Where you're like, oh, yeah, they see that you don't really have friends like that. They'll play on that. You know what I'm saying? They'll play on your top. You feel me? So you just got to watch out for the masculine energy that like to play psychology games. You got to really watch out for that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like family, just, respect people and, you know what I mean? Love your neighbor as yourself. You know what I'm saying? But use your discernment. It's okay to get out and mingle a little bit, but as children of light, you don't want to involve yourself in too much toxicity, because I see in my targeting, the toxicity is just entrapments. You know what I mean? It's all entrapments. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what anybody getting into. You get in the mix with them. Next thing you know, you caught up in some stuff. You get what I'm saying? I'm at that point, that level with it. I gotta know like, okay, this person's a good person, not just acting like they good, and then next thing I know, you know what I'm saying? You doing something you ain't supposed to be doing. I don't want to be associated with that at all, because that's how the program would do. They'll camouflage in anything just to appeal to you. So they see that, oh, you talk about God, they'll talk about God. They see you like to talk about conspiracy theories they'll talk about conspiracy theories. And then once they have your attention, they'll take their mask off and show you what they really about. You get what I'm saying? And usually you might be, they might be like, oh, let's go to some place, you know, and now you stuck. You know what I'm saying? So you always got to use your wisdom and discernment. You know what I mean? Make sure you have your own transportation and situations so you can get out of situations. Don't depend on them, because once they see you desperate and dependent on them, now you're stuck in a situation. Now you have to sit and they'll drag that situation out. They'll see that you are comfortable and they'll drag the situation out. You know what I'm saying? Because they know most likely you ain't gonna want to share another experience. So they're gonna try to drag that situation out. So it's good to have wisdom and discernment and to know like who the type of people you should invite your energy around. You should respect everybody that comes around you, especially a business bubble, you know what I'm saying? Especially like places that you go to, you know, just respect, but you just keep it kind of to a minimum, you know what I'm saying? And just, hey, blah, 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 and keep it moving. As a TI, that's kind of how you have to move, you know, on and offline. On and offline. Online is pretty cool, but I don't try to be desperate and try to force my way in people's bubbles. You know what I'm saying? Got to be a mutual ground. You know, because then once you force your way in people's bubble, now they can use that as a vantage point to try to, oh, now you got to prove your worth to me, prove yourself to me, prove that you a TI, prove this, prove that, and I ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? And they could use anything to be like, oh, you perping me. Oh, you know, why your video ends in this type of number, or why do you wear these type of colors? Why I don't see this? Why I don't see that? You know what I'm saying? Why you don't like showing your face a lot? Like, you know what I mean? Just all this proves. So it's like even online. It's like I don't mind, you know, talking and getting online and stuff like that, but you know, I'll be ready to talk about some deep stuff, and I'll be ready to talk about God. You know what I'm saying? I don't be wanting to venture off into nothing too crazy. You know what I mean? But as a human being, it's cool to have friends. As a human being, it's cool to have, you know, build support systems. But you can't be desperate enough to chase after nobody. You don't want to be chasing nobody. Only thing you try to do is chase God and chase that money. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be chasing nobody out here. You know, focus on God, focus on the money, all that's gonna come. You know what I mean? Focus on your work, your daily labors, you know what I mean, sustaining and focusing on God, and things is gonna come. The things that's supposed to come is gonna come. Things that ain't supposed to come, don't force it. You put yourself in toxic situations when you force stuff. You know, let things be organic. You forcing it, you know what I mean? You got to be patient. Force is impatient, you know what I mean? You feel like you deserve something, but it's not according to your timing. It's according to divine timing. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, family, just remember that. Don't be chasing nothing. Peace.